This is the Rangers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Texas Rangers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, that was not the momentum that we were looking for, to say the least. The Rangers scored only 2 runs, and then they gave up 2 runs late in the game, one in the 7th, another in the 9th. And they were truly snake bit, although they kind of bit themselves with their lack of hitting and that bizarre 7th inning for Robert Garcia that was just brutal. Anyway, they lost another rough game by the final of 3-2, and we keep saying it with every loss. This is not the time to be losing, especially to bad teams, especially at home. But it happened again tonight as the Rangers fall to the D-backs by the final of 3-2. And here we go. Welcome into the Rangers Postcast, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, longtime host and reporter. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Rangers, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Rangers podcast feed. That's where you'll find the great work of Bryce Paterick each and every day. Bryce had a really good show today. If you get a chance, check that out. Got a day game tomorrow, but an off day on Thursday. And Bryce will have a lot to say as we hit the midway point here in the month of August. All right, a lot of you have already jumped in, so let's get right to it, and here we go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, I'll tell you what, how do you follow the biggest comeback win of the season, right? That's the question. Another big start for young Jack Leiter, who did not go 5 innings in his last 2 starts. Tonight, though, he cruised through the first 2 and even got some early run support. And the Rangers scored first in the bottom of the 2nd, back-to-back singles for Jock Peterson and Wyatt Langford, with Jock even stealing third base and then scoring on a ground out by Adolis Garcia. Unfortunately, the D-backs came right back in the top of the 3rd. Blaze Alexander, a leadoff home run that tied the game at 1-1. The issue for Jack Leiter, though, still the same. Just still having a hard time finishing guys off. We say it every time. The stuff is elite. It's electric. It's some of the best in baseball right now. But he's been walking more guys lately, actually walking more than he's given up hits, which is hard to get your mind around. And so tonight, you could tell early that his mindset and his approach was, okay, because I'm sure they've been working on it and saying, look, you can't walk guys. You can't walk guys. You have the stuff. Get them out. Don't be afraid. Just go after them. Just trust your stuff. Make your pitches, and you'll be okay. So he went after them, and early on it worked. And then the Diamondbacks adjusted, and he went back to kind of making perfect pitches again. And so, and you try to nibble and you try to make, these on the black perfect strikes. And it's just, he'll learn, and he's going through it, and he is growing through it as well, going and growing. But he'll learn to pitch to contact, and he'll learn to really make his life easier once he kind of figures out how to adjust and how to stay in command of the strike zone. But anyway, bottom line is got out of that 3rd inning jam with the bases loaded. Thought that was great. Gave up a hit and a batter in the 4th, but then I thought he finished off really, really nicely with that 1-2-3 inning to end his night in the fifth. And he left with the lead because the Rangers scored their second run in the bottom of the third on that bases loaded sac fly from Marcus Semien. And I thought that was going to be a big inning. But instead, it was one and done. And that was 2-1 until Arizona tied it again in the seventh on that botched play and throw by Robert Garcia, and then another error for Josh Young, and then the RBI single for Marte, who ended up being the man of the hour in the top of the ninth when he broke the 2-2 tie with the 2-out solo bomb to left off of Danny Coulombe. First home run given up this season by Coulombe, and more importantly, another critical loss for the Rangers, 3-2 the final. And I don't know, you obviously the home run in the ninth was the difference, but I'll say it just pains me to say, because Robert Garcia, I've said this so many times, early on was one of my favorite guys. Love the way that he pitched, and man, it's been a rough couple weeks for him. And I mean, you just can't at that level. I mean, you just can't. You can't. I know he was just trying to make a play and trying to at least do what he could, but you can't throw that hard where it goes into the camera well and you give the guy the base. I mean, that just completely not only set the tone for that inning, but it changed the inning. And for this team, you're grinding, you're trying to hold the lead, and you just don't need to beat yourself. It's already hard enough. You're already struggling enough. You don't commit 2 errors in an inning. And it's just tough to see, because, I think the guys are going to look back and, they're going to kick themselves for what could have been, but really, look, with how many games left, 41 games left after tonight, I believe is the number. Look, this, I mean, unless they surprise us and go on a run, I mean, this is how it's going to be the rest of the way. I mean, this is how it's going to be until they either get in and find a way and have other people ahead or around them collapse, or until they get eliminated. But it's literally going to be one game at a time. That's just the way it is. So tough one tonight. The good news is they don't have to wait long for the finale tomorrow, and they'll have a chance to salvage and win the series and then head out on the road, hopefully on a positive note. All right, we're going to take our timeout. When we come back, we're going to hear from you via the Rangers comment crew. Rangers, though, lose again tonight. They fall to the D-backs by the final of 3-2. This is the Rangers POSTCAST. All right, well, I want to let you know what's going on at Open Phone, because if you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. So think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? No. You called the next one, right? Well, that's why having a reliable business line is so important, and that's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or computer. So right now, Open Phone is offering Locked On Show listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's OpenPhone, OpenPhone.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have existing numbers with another service Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers. All right, and as you know, I mean, it's that time of the year, right? And FanDuel is all over it. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week one even kicks off, this is your moment. So tell you what, visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. All right, got to give it up for our guys at Game Day Hugh. Love Game Day Hugh. Hugh or you? All right, that's the question. But Game Day Hugh in this episode is brought to you by Game Day Hugh. And so is this hat that I'm wearing. Again, fans like me, this one hits the mark. Game Day Hugh makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. And not just the hats, check out their split shade gloves. I mean, very nice. Love this glove. And I'll tell you what, it is not only a great glove for the golf course, but the perfect gift for the fan who has everything. So right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So now is the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15. All right, welcome back to the Rangers postcast. The Rangers fall to the D-backs 3-2. Alf getting us going early. Alf says, win striking out the side in the sixth gave me good vibes. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that little cutter pitch that he's throwing, he's looking better and better. And we kind of thought that, once he got kind of settled, once he got comfortable and got some innings under his belt, he would be that. And I would say without a doubt, he was one of the bright spots tonight for sure. Silent Doom 79 says, you want to blow a game, bring in Garcia, the go-to man for choking. Silent Doom also says, I'm done with Adolis. Al says, can we please release Garcia? Keith says, terrible fielding by Garcia. The backhanded flip alone should earn him a demotion. Texas Hobby Bin, oh my, Robert Garcia, that was a nonsensible and inexcusable attempt of a play. Yeah, that was really tough. That was tough to see. And I like the guy, but this time of the year in that kind of a game, you just can't do that. You gotta pick up the ball and suck it up and get on to the next batter. I mean, that really just completely shifted the momentum, gave Arizona life, and they felt like, man, these guys are struggling and we can beat them. And they did. Soldier X says Garcia under no circumstances needs to be pitching in a high leverage situation. Another blown game. It's fair to say, I know Bruce brought him back in the Philly series, and I think he had a good inning in one of the games, and I guess that felt good. Bruce felt good about that. But I would keep him out of that for a little bit for sure. Al says still love Higgy Pop. Yeah, good to see him hitting the ball well again. Look, I mean, they need this offense to get going. How many times do we have to say it every single game? I mean, 2 runs. This is what, 6 games out of 7 where they've scored 2 runs or less. I mean, they had 4 hits tonight, 2 runs on 4 hits. I mean, it's just not acceptable on your home field against the Diamondbacks, who are pitching guys that, I mean, that you could question, are they legit, big league players at this point? Keith mentions, gotta love the fan chanting "Fire Nico." I'll tell you what, I mean, clearly that guy figured out that the TV's mic was there. I would have, for me, if I was producing, I would have just killed that mic. That was bad. I mean, I was just not because of what he was saying, but because it was one guy, and it was pretty much the entire game, and that was bad. Keith says, man, after the walk-off last night, you'd think they would have come out mashing, especially when the D-backs went to a reliever where hitters are hitting 400 against them flat. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, guys, we've been talking about this all season long, and I said this before. It's baseball of all the sports. When you are expected to win, just a lot of guys cannot handle that. I mean, in all the sports right now, with all the money and everything going on, being an underdog or disrespected is kind of the thing that kind of pushes guys' buttons, right? It's not the money. There's no motivation to be great, or I mean, yeah, you get paid and you get paid before you even play. There's no accountability really, but something about pride and being disrespected seems to get guys going. And for this Rangers team, they were expected to mash and to score runs and to do well and to get back to the World Series after winning it in 2023. And I've said this before, they just have not been able to hold up under that pressure. I mean, period. Because we know, I mean, we know, and you know what, maybe it's going to take like an unofficial losing streak here where they're not eliminated, but everybody just writes them off and says they're out of it, and then maybe that will pop the pressure balloon, and then maybe they'll play like they're capable of. But they're not right now, and they're just back to bad at bats and pressing, and like that one of the last at bat by Adolis. I mean, swinging at ball 4. I mean, you got to be locked in every at bat, every pitch, not just trying to hit a home run. And it just don't. I just the pain of losing and should be enough to kind of get these guys going to want to find a way to grind out a win no matter what. TCG says unbelievable. Silent Doom says we're cooked. Soldier X says this is the reason the team is not going anywhere. So many losses when the pitching gives up 3 or less, unacceptable. I agree. Mark says the Rangers team done for the season. Mike says no hits after the third inning. Won't cut it. Nope. No doubt. Alf says the heart we showed yesterday was not present today. Nope, you're right, Alf. And please give us an update when you can on what's going on and how your appointment went. Mark says a worthless and gutless lineup completely sucking the life out of this team. Texas Hobbybin says offense is still mid, but that attempted play by Garcia knocked the wind out of us too. Mark points out the Rangers have yet to hit a grand slam so far this season. Alf, thank you for the kind words. John Mark says frustrating game to watch. Keith, I'm reading what you're saying. I appreciate it. Ronan Tactical Gaming says Robert Garcia should be DFA'd for that behind the back toss. That is unforgivable. Ricky Gonzalez says, I am done with Robert Garcia, and I think I'm done with the Rangers this season. There's Isaac. What's going on, Isaac? This Bruce Bochy finally learned his lesson and just not have Robert Garcia on the team. He needs to be DFA'd. This is just unacceptable. Laura Berry says it will take a team transformation to make it to the postseason. Paul Wilson, there's Paul. To state the obvious, the offensive inconsistency has doomed this team this season. You're right. And a lot of great comments, guys. I apologize. I cannot read all of them out loud. I would if I could, but they're really on me to keep these around 20 minutes. One more from SS Dirk, 1976. I think it's time for Garcia and Bochy to hit the road. Bochy keeps putting that bum in only to keep losing games. And Keith says, here's a hot take. If the Rangers lose tomorrow, they will get swept in Toronto. Well, I hope not. I mean, I hope they win tomorrow, and I hope they don't get swept in tomorrow, as do you. But obviously, huge game tomorrow with Merrill Kelly, the former Diamondback, facing his former team. I will be on with you after the game, so I know it's a work day, but if we have a chance, please jump in. The other note, Evan Carter began his rehab assignment tonight with Round Rock. It's going to be interesting whose place he takes when he returns. We got into that a little bit last night. I think Bryce brought it up a little bit on his show today. And Chris Martin, unfortunately, starting to ramp up his rehab from the calf injury. Felt some pain there today. So I think that's going to at least shut him down until September. And then we'll see, we'll see where the team is at and go from there. But I wouldn't expect much more from Chris Martin the rest of the season, obviously. All right, guys. Hey, thank you for getting in. Thank you to everybody. You can see, man, when they were winning, we had a ton of people watching live. Now that they're losing, it's just, I get it. I understand. It's tough. It's been a very, very frustrating season. But in the meantime, one game at a time, and let's just hope that they can find a way to turn it around. Still 41 games left with a big one, a must-win coming up tomorrow. All right, final score, Rangers fall to the D-backs 3-2. We'll do it again tomorrow afternoon. This has been the Rangers POSTCAST.